Signs. President Tinubu writes Senate seeks approval for fresh $2.2 billion. Dangote Refinery begins fuel exports to West African countries. Tension in Ohafia as gunmen reportedly kill policeman in Abia. Hello, welcome to News Update on Trust TV. I am Lilian Ogati. And now to the news. President Bola Tinubu has written to the Nigerian Senate seeking approval of a fresh $2.2 billion as a new external borrowing plan in the 2024 Appropriation Act. The President's request was read by President of the Senate, Uba Uba, during plenary on Tuesday. If approved, the loan will be used to part finance the budget deficit of 9.7 trillion naira for the 2024 budget. Here's the details and more from the National Assembly.
Provided as new external borrowing in the 2024 Appropriation Act to part finance the budget deficit of about 9.17 trillion.
President Tinubu also transmitted the medium-term expenditure framework and the fiscal strategy paper for 2025 to 2027 to the Parliament for consideration and approval. Also forwarded was the National Social Investment Program Establishment Amendment Bill to make the Social Register the primary tool for the implementation of the federal government's social welfare programs.
While I trust that the Senate will consider the passage of this submission expeditiously, please accept the Civil Senate President, the Civil Senators, the assurances of my highest regards.
President Tinubu also sought confirmation of 3 nominees as commissioners for the Independent National Electoral Commission.
And now moving on, the Dangote Petroleum Refinery has started exporting refined petroleum products to neighboring West African countries, a sign to traders that the mega refinery's operation could soon potentially shake up regional fuel markets. A report by Bloomberg on Tuesday, quoting data sourced from Vortexa, Kepler, Precise Intelligence, a port report and ship tracking platform, and said a tanker has hauled the shipment of gasoline from the Dangote Petroleum Refinery to waters off the coast of Togo, a neighboring West African country. The report said a CL, Jane Austen, recently loaded more than 300,000 barrels from Dangote and sailed west. Recall that the chairman last month of the Ghana National Petroleum Authority, Mustafa Abdul Hamid, said the country is considering buying petroleum product from the Dangote refinery to help the country cut more expensive exports from Europe, which cost the country about $400 million monthly. The chairman of NPA Ghana, who spoke at the OTL African Downstream Oil Conference in Lagos, said importing from Nigeria rather than Europe would reduce the prices of their goods and services by removing freight costs. The CBN, Central Bank of Nigeria, has warned the public to be cautious of fraudulent SWIFT messages and unsubstantiated claims regarding foreign currency transfers allegedly withheld by Nigerian banks for the Apex Bank itself. The warning follows a surge in petitions from private individuals, law firms, government agencies, and private entities claiming that foreign currency funds sent to their accounts by foreign entities have not been credited. In a statement signed by Hakama Sidi Ali, Acting Director of Corporate Commissions, the CBN said these claims are often accompanied by fake documents such as SWIFT MT-103 and SWIFT Acknowledgement ACK copies purportedly as proof of remittance. The bank also stated its readiness to involve law enforcement agencies to investigate and prosecute individuals making illegitimate allegations. The CBN described these documents as unreliable, emphasizing that they cannot be traced on the SWIFT platform. The Apex Bank clarified the standard procedure for addressing issues of non-receipt of funds, advising that the sender, rather than escalating the matter to the CBN or law enforcement agencies, should request the sending back to trace the funds through a formal tracer process.
The Nigerian Central Bank announced on June 3rd, 2024, that the Heritage Bank's banking license has been revoked, adding that the National Deposit Insurance Corporation, NDIC, was appointed as the bank's.
Now moving on to Heritage Bank. Staff members of the dissolved Heritage Bank have taken the Central Bank of Nigeria and the Nigerian Deposit Insurance Corporation to court over the non-payment of their entitlement. They are also seeking legal redress over the freezing of their personal accounts, after which they called on lawful dissolution of the bank. Noel Sampson, who was in court on Tuesday, proceeding, now reports.
The Nigerian Central Bank announced on June 3rd, 2024, that the Heritage Bank's banking license has been revoked, adding that the National Deposit Insurance Corporation (NDIC) was appointed as the bank's liquidator. 5 months after dissolution of the bank, entitlements belonging to the bank's staff have not been given to them, while their personal accounts have also been frozen.
NDIC, came and said that they wanted to know the position of the bank. So they asked us for our books and everything. They checked our vault. They entered inside the vault as Heritage Bank, checked everything, And then just a few minutes later, they now said that their mission has changed from checking the position of the bank to liquidation, outright liquidation, like closed down, without no prior notice, nothing. And we thought it was a joke. They asked us for the keys and everything and asked us to go home. And since then till now, we've not been paid any salary. By the way, we are still members of staff of Heritage Bank because we still have our ID cards with us. We have not been officially disengaged. So I am still a member of staff of Heritage Bank. And as far as I'm concerned, CBN is owing me 5 to 6 months salary.
Speaking to newsmen after the court proceedings, counsel to the claimants, Maxwell Okpara, said the court had adjourned the case for proper hearing to the 10th of December 2024. He also shed light on what transpired inside the courtroom.
You terminated his appointment. You did not even pay him his due allowances and salaries. You just treat him like a common criminal. And all efforts, they have written a letter, they have demonstrated, and nobody wants to hear them. So we decided to come to the last hope of a common man, that is court, to ask a court to review whether the actions of NDIC and that of CBN was in line with the enabling laws. That's why we are here.
So the court has adjourned because of the urgency and sensitive nature of the case. Court has adjourned till giving us the 10th of December.
The sacked Heritage Bank staff members are hopeful that the court will ensure that justice is served. Noel Sampson, Trust TV News, Abuja.
The People's Democratic Party's candidate in the just concluded Edo State governorship election, Abola Ajayi, has rejected the result, alleging that the opposition, the All Progressive Congress, and Independent National Electoral Commission perpetrated criminality during the exercise. The election results were announced on Sunday after an extensive voting on Saturday. The returning officer Olayemi Akinwumi, who is also the Vice Chancellor of the Federal University, Lokoja, Kogi State, declared Lucky Aiyedatiwa of the APC winner of the election on Sunday, extending the governor's stay at the government house in Alabaka, Akure. He, however, Ajayi, in a statement by his special advisor Ayo Fadaka, said he kept silent since poll results were announced to enable him to investigate contents of criminality perpetrated by both the victorious All Progressive Congress and INEC. He also threatened to take legal action against INEC and the APC. Ahead of the People's Democratic Party 99th National Executive Council meeting slated for November 28, there are indications that Umar Damagum has perfected plans to remain as the acting national chairman of the party till next year. Reports say the Damagum-led National Working Committee is scheduled to meet with the 36 PDP state chairman and the FCT chairman at the party's headquarters, Wadata Plaza in Abuja, on Wednesday. A senior figure in the PDP leadership who spoke on condition of anonymity said most of the chairmen have arrived in Abuja on Tuesday, suggesting that the meeting could be related to the upcoming NEC. He is since assuming the position of acting national chairman. Following Senator Ioricha Ayu's removal by the court, Damagum has faced growing criticisms from party leaders amid the ongoing PDP crisis, with increasing calls for his resignation. His alleged lack of decisiveness was blamed for the worsening political crisis in River State between Governor Similaye Fubara and his predecessor, now the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike. Still on politics, the Martins Amewule-led Rivers House of Assembly plans to set aside October 29th as a day to commemorate what it calls unprovoked attacks on the legislature. The Assembly reached a resolution during its plenary at the auditorium of the Assembly quarters in Port Harcourt, the River State capital. The report.
The lawmakers says every 29th of October would henceforth be used to remember the mindless burning down of the hallowed chamber of the River State House of Assembly a year ago, the attack on the official residence of the Speaker, and the brazen demolition of the Assembly complex. Speaking on the matter at the 68th legislative sitting, the leader, Major Jack, drew the attention of the House to the sad events, particularly the burning down of the chamber of the House on the 29th of October 2023 by some arsonists. Members debated and agreed to set aside the day as an anniversary of attacks on Rivers legislature.
Over a year that the River State House of Assembly hallowed chamber was burnt down by the arsonists. Mr. Speaker, the arsonists are moving freely in Port Harcourt. Everywhere they are moving freely. Though some of them were arrested and taken to court, but none.
The legislature is what differentiates democratic rule from military rule. And so if the legislature is attacked, then there was an attack on democracy itself.
What has happened in the House of Assembly is not for us here, but I know that we have hope. We have hope because this assembly will be dedicated when the time comes. But I know the governor will not go free for burning that chamber. He will never go free.
Martins Amawele stated that it has been 341 days since Governor Siminalayi Fubara supervised the demolition of the assembly complex on the 13th of December 2023 without the knowledge and approval of the House. Martins described it as a sad reminder of the brutal attack on the legislature, which he described as a bastion of democracy.
If nothing happens to those who attacked the Rivers legislature on the 29th of October, it will be a shame to this country. In this 21st century, we will have a sitting governor who swore to abide by their constitution, acting in this manner as if there is no law, as if there is no constitution, as if no one can hold him to account.
The House further directed Julius Berger PLC to carry out remedial repairs on the collapsed sections of the alternate routes to the Port Harcourt Ring Road. Debating on the report of the House Committee on Works, members commended the committee for the detailed report and urged the committee to follow up.
An unspecified number of policemen have been reportedly killed in Anhafia local government area of Abia State by rampaging gunmen. Though details of the sad event are still sketchy, the unfortunate incident is said to have occurred in Ebem Asaga area in the early hours of Wednesday. Sources report that the area is said to have been deserted as residents scampered for safety. This comes barely 2 days after two police officers assigned to Ginger Onwu-Sibe, a member of the House of Representatives representing Shalangwa North and South constituency, were reportedly ambushed by armed assailants while on official duties in Umuahia. The incident, which occurred on Sunday around 8:30 p.m., left one police officer who sustained multiple gunshot wounds dead, while the other officer and the driver escaped the attack. Efforts are ongoing to reach the police public relations officer, Maureen Chinaka, for comments. Now moving on to other stories. Vice President Kashim Shettima on Tuesday joined senators in the upper chamber of the National Assembly to pay glowing tribute to late Senator Uba Uba, who died on July 26 in the United Kingdom, represented Anambra South Senatorial District in the 9th and 10th Senate. To report.
Before the commencement of the valedictory section, the remains of late Uba were laid in state at the foyer of the Senate chamber. Wife, children, and relatives of the late senator were present at the section. Also present were the former governor of Anambra State and former Minister of Labour, Chris Ngige, wife of the President of Senate, Nneoma Akpabio, and wives of other lawmakers. Shettima, in his tribute, said the late Uba's generosity knew no bounds, describing him as a good man.
His bridge-building capacity elevated his political journey beyond older and more established giants in the arena. And he was easily on his way to bigger conquests when the Lord called him home.
Lawmakers took turns to eulogize the late senator, saying his sad demise is a huge loss not just to his state, but the country at large.
But we must accept the will of God. It's not our will, it's His will. Because Uba Uba was a very pleasant person in the 9th Senate. First of all, we were in anger, very disappointed. But we took solemn in the injunction from the Bible that God was life.
We must take lessons from life of Uba Uba. He was full of life, much younger than many of us in this Senate. But because we all go to God and go back to Him at His own time.
In his tribute, President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, condoled the family of Uba, describing him as an accomplished businessman and consummate politician.
Within the short span of life that he lived, he made impact on the lives of thousands of people. A notable scholar, Ajayi Abimbola, once averred that a life is never productive until it makes an impact on the lives of others.
Late Senator Uba Uba was a member of the All Progressive Congress (APC) and chairman, Senate Committee on Petroleum Downstream until his death.
In a country grappling with rising inflation, job losses, and an ever-increasing cost of living, you might think that indulgence is a luxury most Nigerians can't afford. But here in Abuja, at the famous Yahuza spot, the story is different. In the face of economic hardship, Yahuza Suya spot is a proof that Nigerians know how to find light, even in the darkest times, as Noah Sampson reports.
In today's tough economic climate, you might expect a popular suya spot in Abuja to be quiet. Its grease barely sizzling, but when we visited this bustling spot twice, once in the afternoon and later at night, we found a different story entirely. Both times, the place was packed, buzzing with people from all walks of life, indulging in a little escape from life's challenges. Curious to know why? We spoke to some of the customers who shared their reasons for choosing this suya heaven despite the pinch of rising costs. Their answers painted a picture of resilience and the unspeakable Nigeria love for good food.
The pocket friendliness alone, I think it's been average in the number of years thus far. I think I just got to discover today that their prices changed after a while and it's still affordable for anybody that walks into Yahuza Suya. I believe that's personal because for you to come to Yahuza Suya, definitely you know what you're coming in for. And I want to believe their chicken, their beef suya, I think their gizzard tongues and even their masa. Everything they have is actually top notch.
Price is okay and the environment, you ease the stress of the day's activities. Oh yes, of course, I will, because it's a place that, apart from taking a rest, relax, you could have a meeting.
They are progressing they have progressed already from the traditional means of selling suya to the contemporary means of selling suya.
Yahuza isn't just about food, it's an ecosystem. Vendors selling drinks and snacks thrive alongside the suya business, creating a lively marketplace.
Come here with your 2,000 naira, 1,000 naira, you eat your suya, satisfy you go back. But now, what we said before at the rate of 1,000 is at the rate of 3,000 now. What we sell at the rate of 3,000 before is at the rate of 6,000 now, due to the situation in the country.
Yes, from 2,500 to above, we have 2,500, we have 3,000 to above, you understand? We even have 12,000. Yes, that's the price. And we had different curriculum up to, you understand?
Because of your Yahuza, everybody come buy me plum, fruits, everything, because plenty of people come here. So even my car, inspiration, good one, everything I have it, plum, grape, banana, everything I sell here. Because
suya is more than just food, it's part of a culture. The local take on the classic barbecue or steak has been a favorite for generations. But beyond the smoky aroma and the irresistible spice, Suya offers more than just a tasty bite. Red meat, the core ingredient of suya, is packed with health benefits. It's a protein powerhouse, crucial for muscle and bone health. It helps repair and grow muscles, boosts immunity, and tackles iron deficiency. Perhaps that's why, despite the economic squeeze, Nigerians still flock their favorite suya spots in droves. It's not just about the food, it's about nourishing the body and lifting the spirits, one delicious, spicy bite at a time. No, Samson, Trust TV News, Abuja.
People living with disabilities in Bauchi State have expressed satisfaction with the construction of user-friendly reference public toilets geared towards addressing the challenges of accessing restrooms in public places. They made their feelings known during the commissioning of a modern toilet facility at close to the famous Wunti Market as part of 2024 World Toilet Day commemoration. Trust TV's Adamu Imam completes the report.
People with special needs within Bauchi Metropolis express confidence that this effort made by the Water Aid Nigeria in collaboration with state government in reducing the plight of the needy will not go unnoticed. Asma'u Yahya and Ilya Ismail are among the first people living with disabilities to witness the commissioning of the facility.
Well, our situation, as I tell you, that the toilet is user-friendly, so it has ramp, which is accessible for wheelchair users. So it has a handrail that we can hold for aged people, for physically challenged, so we can use it with ease without having much difficulties.
And even the toilet apartment are too narrow for a wheelchair user to navigate, and also a lot of things are not considered. But after a series of engagement, roundtable meeting with all the stakeholders and people with disability being part of them, all our contributions are now being captured, and you can see a friendly toilet.
Meanwhile, Water Aid Nigeria and other sanitation and hygiene donor partners, as well as state agencies, have reassured their commitment towards addressing the gaps in the water sector through inclusiveness.
At large. In Nigeria, over half of the population lacks access to decent toilet. This stark reality compromises health, hinders economic growth, and denies millions of the right to dignity. The urgency to address this challenge cannot be overstated.
User-friendly toilets reference model constructed by Water Aid in partnership with the Pacific. Today, Tuesday, 19th November 224. May it benefit the immediate environment in which it is constructed.
Community leaders, women and market groups also appreciated the gesture while expressing their commitment to safeguarding the new edifice for the benefit of all. Adam Imam, Trust TV News, Bauchi.
Now to stories outside Nigeria. Official provisional results made public on Tuesday have confirmed that Senegal's ruling PASTEF party has won a decisive victory in Sunday's snap legislative election. They show it outperforming the two main opposition groups, coming first in 40 of the country's 46 departments and in 7 of the 8 diaspora constituencies. In addition, President Bassirou Faye's party extended its reach, winning votes in areas of the country that have seen a stronghold of former President Macky Sall. Faye assumed power in April following a landslide victory in the presidential poll, promising to crack down on corruption and improve livelihoods. But just 6 months later, he dissolved parliament, accusing lawmakers and the opposition-led assembly of blocking him from executing the promised changes. PASTEF's victory in the legislative polls has redrawn the electoral map and given it unprecedented power to implement its program. With that, we've come to the end of news updates on Trust TV. Do not forget you can follow us across all our social media platforms for news programs and documentaries. I am Liam Ogazi. Bye for now.